Hello everyone, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video. And in this video, I'm going to be playing some AI Dungeon 2. This is part 2 of The Other Side, my adventure in trying to essentially play through Joseph Campbell's Hero's Journey, which is a 7-part story formula that tons of famous stories follow. I got all the way up to Atonement of the Father, which is currently where I'm at in the hero's journey. If you're lost and you're like, I don't know what's going on, then I can kind of give you like a very high level recap by just kind of going over what the hero's journey is. Essentially, our story started with our main character waking up in a forest clearing without any memory of his past, but he had a clipboard that he found next to him that essentially outlines Campbell's 17 stages of the hero's journey. And since he didn't have any memory of what his life was like before, he decides that he's going to become a hero by going through the motions of the hero's journey. So, the first thing that he did is search for a call to adventure. Of course, he did that after having a weird run-in with a man with a Tommy gun. With that being said, after he gets away from the man with the Tommy gun, he ends up getting a call to adventure from a seashell, I think, if I remember correctly. The seashell tells him to go get the Stone of Valkyr. And we really don't know what the Stone of Valkyr is. All we know is that it holds tremendous power. So our hero refuses to take the request, but he only refuses because that's a part of the hero's journey, like, template. And he tells the, seashell that. He's like, yeah, like, I'm not gonna do it, but I'm only saying I'm not gonna do it because that's what I'm supposed to say, kind of thing. Then he receives supernatural aid. There's this like crazy whirlwind that appears, and then the sidekick character shows up, who has like 2 feet and like a purple tail or whatever, and his name is like Quizzicali or something like that, or Quizzitali. He has like a weird name. There are a lot of like Q names in this for some reason, but he shows up and he's our like guide and sidekick. We accept the call to adventure, and our little sidekick gives us a magic seashell that lets you hear the whispers of the ocean. I haven't used the seashell yet, but that is something that's inside my arsenal. So after we team up with Quetzalcoatl or Quetzalcoatl, whatever his name is, after we team up with the sidekick, we have to cross the first threshold into the other side. This requires us going on like a really long journey. We end up like going through a pass, through a mountain, that then leads us to a village. I meet a snake that's actually like a god, and the snake warns me that there's gonna be danger when I enter the other side. I go down this like weird manually operated like elevator with the villagers in Quizatali, or whatever our sidekick's name is. And we arrive in the other side, which is described as like this magical other world that really doesn't have any rules. Essentially, anything can happen on the other side. So when I enter the other side, there's this tunnel that has like green light, and there are voices coming from the tunnel, and Quizatali warns me like, hey, inside that tunnel is a harpy, and the harpy is like a trained murderous killer. It takes down anything in its path, and staring in the eyes of the harpy like will paralyze you, so don't look the harpy in the eyes. And I'm essentially warned that like when you cross the threshold, that there's some kind of like minor threat or danger that like exists on the other side of the threshold. And essentially the harpy was that danger. But instead of fighting the harpy, we just continue along the path. So like knowing that the harpy is there, the harpy, and we continue forward. So then the next step is like the belly of the whale, which is essentially just accepting the fact that like, hey, now that you've entered this like other world, that you're gonna like change. Like the world is going to change you, and you're gonna have to like come to terms with that change. And my character like recognizes that. He and Quetzalcoatl have a talk about it, but in the end, my character is like, I'm fine with it. I'm a little afraid of the danger that's ahead, but I hope that I can come out of this being a better hero. He's like, that's the change that I want out of this adventure. So then we run into the road of trials, where the main character has to overcome these three different obstacles. The first obstacle is this hallway that begins to like magically close in on itself, and my character has to like race through the hallway to not get like crushed when the walls come together. But as soon as he gets to the end of the hallway, a bottomless pit opens up under him, and he tries to like halt his fall and grab onto some of the rocky spikes that are coming out of the walls, but the rocky spikes break off, and our character like hits the bottom of the pit, to which then the pit starts to close in on itself. But our main character takes advantage of that and is able to use the walls around him to like shimmy up the pit quickly before it can like close him, or I mean crush him. So those were the three challenges of the Road of Trials: the closing corridor, falling into the bottomless pit, and then surviving like the crushing cavern of when like the pit tried to close in on itself. So once we finished up the three trials, I end up going down a path that has a fork in the road, where I run into the goddess Bianca. So the goddess Bianca is like this beautiful goddess. She gives us like a kiss and a hug, and she offers us three wishes. But she tells us that we need to use our last wish to save her. And she seems kind of sad and desperate, like she really wants to get out of here. She says that she's from the overworld and that she's not from the other side. So she's trying to escape the other side. So we say that we're not going to use our three wishes until later, because we'll probably need them later on during the journey. But we do say that we will use our last wish to set Bianca free. So after that, I run into like a village where the people in the village don't really like my character. My character's looking for the woman as the Temptress, but she's not in the village. But the village does tell me that in the Swamp of Shadows, which is on a path going in the opposite direction, that there is a siren that the people of the village have heard the songs of from a distance. So I go into the Swamp of Shadows to try and find the siren. I find the siren, and it's a beautiful woman with long flowing auburn hair, and she has this like glowing orb device that I feel compelled to like steal from her. But knowing that she's the like temptress, because that's like the order of events of the hero's journey, and understanding that this compulsion feels like unnatural and like forced upon me, I essentially like refuse the temptation, but I do ask to have the orb. And the woman explains what the orb is and gives it to us, and she says that it's our reward for not like being compelled to steal the orb from her. So the orb is called the Polus Oval or something like that, and essentially allows you to like cast illusions. So then we get to Atonement with the Father / Abyss, where I try to become initiated by an all-powerful entity. A portal opens up in front of me shortly after getting the illusion device. And when I walk through the portal, I'm introduced to four all-powerful beings. The Great One, Synthel, Clave, and Gruul. And each of these all-powerful beings each have like their own attribute about them, like some kind of like personality trait or something that they're known for. And the Great One essentially says, you will be like initiated into the order of the all-powerful entity, but you will only be initiated if you are able to pass the challenges of my acolytes. So Synthel, Clave, and Gruul each give me a challenge that I need to complete. And apparently I need to kind of complete all the challenges all at once. So one of them is that I need to beat Synthel in a test of might. The other one is that I need to hunt the weird Q name. Like I said, there are a bunch of weird Q names, but I have to hunt this weird Q name thing that is like a giant turtle creature, essentially. And I have to learn what Gruul's challenge is. The Great One says I'll only learn what Gruul's challenge is by like fighting Gruul. So I need to fight him to learn what the challenge is. And what ended up happening with that is that I ended up getting pulled into the ocean by the Great One, where I encountered the giant turtle monster and learned that it's actually like a tentacle turtle monster. I tried to use the Polus Oval the illusion device that I just got in order to fight back against the turtle, but I can't concentrate because the turtle's trying to eat me, so I can't get the device to work, and that's where we left off last time. So let's see. So it took me 10 minutes to go over that video. Trust me, the video itself is like 2 hours and 20 minutes. So I hope you guys appreciate the refresher, get you guys caught up. We're not very far through the hero's journey. We're actually just now hitting the halfway point of the hero's journey. Like I said, there are 17 steps, and we're on step number 9, Atonement with the Father. So we still have 8 more steps to go. So without further ado, let's hop in right where we left off. The tentacles grab your body, and you feel the suction of a massive mouth trying to engulf you. You attempt to create an illusion, but you can't concentrate with all the water crashing down on your head. Okay. You think to yourself, I don't have many options. If I can't cast an illusion, then the only other options I have are Bianca's wishes and my magic seashell. The magic seashell supposedly will allow me to hear the whispers of the ocean. I am currently inside of the ocean, so maybe hearing the ocean's whispers could help me defeat this ocean-dwelling beast. Okay, so let's try using the magic seashell. The Quetzal turtle sputters foam from its mouth, and you are spit out, but not before a few of the beast's tentacles break your arms and legs. You tumble through the watery chasm in the creature's body, and eventually you reach the exit. Oh. So while I was thinking of a plan, I get spit out of its mouth, and its tentacles break my arms and legs, and then I tumbled through a watery chasm in the creature's body? How do I get spit out and then somehow also get back in his body? It seems like the order of events is kind of weird. I'm gonna retry that because I'm a little thrown by the way that it described it. They can, ooh, crap. The tentacles squeeze the life out of your body, and it feels as if all your bones are about to break. You take out the magic seashell, and you put it to your ear. Okay. Hopefully the magic seashell helps me, because right now I'm getting crushed by tentacles. And also, I kind of don't want to use the wishes, because the wishes seem a little too overpowered. Seems like you could do something like wish to have the stone of Valrook or whatever, and you would just win. You hear a whisper. Throw your sword at the beast and make a run for it. Let's see. You pull out your sword and hurl it at the beast's head. You were surprised that you had a sword to begin with. You realize that you never checked your bag after you initially woke up in the forest. As far as you know, your bag could be full of useful items and tools for your journey. Let's see. You attempt to swim away from the beast after hurling your sword at its head. You hope that your sword will hit it right between the eyes and slay it instantly. You can only hope that you can pitch a sword like a baseball underwater, get him like a game of darts, right in the forehead. The beast takes a moment to process what just happened to it, but then it begins to roar loudly as it moves its tentacles to chase after you. As the tentacles move closer, you feel your life force depleting rapidly. You aren't going to make it out of the water alive. Let's see. You listen closely to the seashell. You hope that the seashell has some advice for how to defeat the beast. Yeah, because it just said, pull out your sword, throw it, and run, or whatever. Like, that was all it really had for me. Well, actually, what about my illusion device? Like, now that I'm far enough away, I might be able to use it. Let's see, the seashell whispers, use Bianca's wish to have the beast be teleported back to where it came from. You don't want to use Bianca's wish to defeat the monster. You feel like that might be a waste of a wish. You attempt to cast an illusion of an even more terrifying monster to scare the beast to death. See, before I couldn't really concentrate because, the tentacles were already wrapping around me. I was in like a bad spot. But now that I'm actively fleeing away from the beast, I have more time to concentrate. I attempt to like make the illusion. Bam. The beast roars and closes its mouth around you. You're dead before you hit the ground. That sounds weird, the second part, because like, what do you mean I'm dead before I hit the ground? I'm like underwater and now I'm like in the beast's mouth. So that didn't really make sense. I'm gonna get rid of the you're dead before you hit the ground thing. Okay. So I am now inside of the beast's mouth. Ooh. I'm going to take a quick moment to breathe inside of the air pocket in the beast's jaws. Let's see. I then am going to try to experiment with the illusion device to see if I can make illusions that can touch things, aka tactile illusions. Unfortunately, you don't have enough time, and the beast's mouth soon snaps shut on top of you. You have been eaten by the beast. What? I thought I was already in his mouth. Like, what's the difference between being in his mouth? I guess he closes it. Is his mouth not small enough for me to live from him, like, closing it? Like, fine. Like, sure, if you say that he, like, closes his mouth on me, I don't think I'm dead. Let's see. I'm going to try to hit the beast uvula as the beast tries to swallow me. If you can hit someone's uvula while you're inside of their mouth, you can make them like throw up. So that's my goal. You try to hit the uvula, but you can't reach that far into the beast's throat. The Quetzal turtle spews your body back out of its mouth and swallows you whole. Why? So I try to hit the uvula, but I can't do it. He then spits me out and then like rushes forward and like swallows me. So now I imagine I'm in the stomach of the turtle. You are now inside of the stomach of the Quetzal turtle. I'm going to try to take a moment to see if I can summon a tactile illusion of a magic sword using the, and what is the like illusion device called again? Where is it? I typed it in like recently. Polus oval. Thank you. Because I need like a way out of here. And I think I might know a way. Yes! A magic sword appears in your hand, and you're able to touch the stomach of the beast. You slash and stab at the Quetzal turtle's stomach until you cut it open. The beast lets out one last roar and dies. You have slain the Quetzal turtle. Hey! So we were able to cut our way out of the turtle. You are glad that you have completed one of the 3 challenges needed to complete your initiation into the Order of the All-Powerful Entity. Now, you only have 2 more challenges left. You need to show that you are more powerful than, I think the god's name is like Sledden, something like that. It's Synthel. You are more powerful than Synthel. And you need to fight Gruul to learn what his challenge is. Let's see, I'm going to attempt to swim back to shore to continue the initiation. Unfortunately, you're too exhausted to swim, and you drown in the ocean. Oh goodness, hold up. Let's see. And you begin to drown in the ocean. I'm going to attempt to create an illusion of a floating platform to raise me out of the water to stop myself from drowning, or at least from continuing to drown. And it needs to be a like tactile illusion platform, otherwise it actually wouldn't be able to lift me up. You're too tired to concentrate, and your attempt at conjuring the floating platform fails. You drown in the ocean, and you fail to become a member of the Order of the All-Powers Entity. I drown in the ocean, and I fail. Wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. So I have to complete the initiation in order to like do the full hero's journey. So I can't go for that. No. So I'm just gonna say, you continue to drown. Like I have to keep pushing to get it. That doesn't mean that I'll necessarily just say it works and you just do the thing. But I need to be able to keep like attempting at it in order to keep the story going. Okay. So I might be forced now to make the wish. I need to see if the like for one, can I even do a wish if I'm drowning? If not, then this is kind of like get fucked territory. Do 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 do. I see. I'm too exhausted to swim. I can't concentrate to cast an illusion. Um, I mean, the wish and the seashell are the only couple things that I like could do. Um, you attempt to gurgle out a request to the ocean. Please, please, allow me to live. I don't know how to do like a gurgle thing. Please allow me to live. Ocean, exit yourself from my lungs and let me breathe so that I may continue my hero's journey. Okay, come on. If the ocean can like whisper, right? Then it makes me think that the ocean's like a living thing. The ocean doesn't respond to your pleas and you drown. Damn it. Okay, okay. So you continue to drown. I need to find a better way. Um. Do 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 do. What would be the best wish to do? Because I think it's now like forcing me. You feel like you have no choice but to use one of Bianca's wishes. Excuse me. Bianca gave you 3 wishes, and you haven't used any of them yet. Bianca asked you to use your last wish to free Bianca. Right now, you are drowning, and if you don't do something soon, you'll surely perish in the ocean. But instead of wishing for your safety, you use your first wish to free Bianca, as you feel like that is the right thing to do. Okay. Bianca, save your boy. Save your boy. The ocean is pushed out from your lungs, and you start to cough up seaweed. You're alive. You swim back to shore and are exhausted after experiencing the 2 life or death situations. But you know that you still have one more challenge to face. I actually have 2 more challenges to face. Let's see. You aren't sure what just happened. You don't know if Bianca used her power to save you, even though you wished for her freedom instead of for your rescue. You also don't know if the ocean heard your plea and freed the water from your lungs. All you know is that you are alive and that you are happy to be alive. Let's see. You look up and say, Sethel? It's like Synthel. Is that the name of the dude? Yeah, Synthel. You look up and say, Synthel, your challenge is to determine which of us is the most powerful. How powerful are you, Synthel? As you continue to stare up at the sky, you notice something falling from above. It looks like a rope, but is being lowered by someone you cannot see. The rope lands on the beach next to you. You hear a voice from above say, "Get in the cage, hero." You ask, whose voice am I hearing? Is that you, Synthel? Synthel has like a hissing voice. It's kind of like a snake voice. The voice answers, "It is, but you may call me wizard if you wish. Climb in the cage now, and we can begin." You're still a little confused about what is happening. You decide to do as the voice says. Nah, don't railroad me. So the voice says, "It is I." You are a little suspicious of the mysterious voice, and you aren't sure if it is really Synthel. You ask your magic seashell if the voice is actually Synthel, and then listen for the seashell's response. The seashell gives no indication that it is Synthel. In fact, the shell doesn't give any noise at all, which makes you think that perhaps the voice is not that of the Great Zambini. Who the fuck is the Great Zambini? Let's see. That the voice is not that of Synthel. You say to the voice, "I was told that Gruel's test is clever. I was told that by the Great One. The magic seashell doesn't think that the voice, well, I guess, doesn't think, that the voice I'm hearing is Synthel. I believe that this is a trick. That is a part of Gruel's challenge. I have seen through your trick, and I refuse to get in the invisible cage. The rope attached to the cage disappears, and the cage itself quickly flies away. The voice from above becomes angry. Okay. So let's listen to this voice. How dare you trick me? I am not Synthel, and you have failed his challenge as a result. Now, the next part of your journey awaits. Before you know what's happening, the sky turns red. Let's see. I'm going to say, to the contrary, I have not failed his challenge. Synthel's challenge is to prove which of us is the most powerful. Synthel, show yourself, and let us see which of us truly is the most powerful. You still feel exhausted. So you decide to try and make a suit of power armor, or at least make a tactile illusion of a suit of power armor that is meant to help restore your energy and let you fight at your full strength. The sky continues to turn red, and it starts to rain blood. You then hear the voice again. Do you really think that you are the only one that can make tactile illusions? In front of you appears a man dressed in a black robe. Let's see. I'm going to ask the seashell if this man is Synthel. The seashell says nothing. You say to the man, I don't know who you are, or if you are even a he, but I'm guessing that you're not Synthel. I demand that you reveal yourself. The man in black responds by saying, Excuse me. My apologies. I am almost impressed that you found your way here. Most are not so resourceful, but your journey ends here, for I am the Dark Sorcerer, and you will be the next soul to feed my power. As he finishes his sentence, a portal opens up behind him. I'm going to call out to the Great One. Oh, Great One, I wish to continue my initiation. I care not for what this dark sorcerer has to say. He is not a part of the hero's journey. The sorcerer tells you to be quiet and says, I think you will find that I am more powerful than the likes of you. I can strike you down where you stand and drain your soul here and now. You think about the sorcerer's words. You say, you remind me of the blonde man that I met Not too long ago, in a forest clearing, like you, he was a bully. Someone who comes out of nowhere and just starts picking with you for no reason. I told him that I would become a great hero and that I would return and show him how much I'd changed. I don't have time for bullies. Not right now. I am still on my quest to become a great hero. The sorcerer turns red, and the portal flashes a bright light. The sorcerer yells, "Rage! I will enjoy draining your soul." The sorcerer then opens his arms, and giant wings made of shadow appear on his back, and he flies towards you. Let's see. I'm going to attempt to summon a magic sword, or at least a tactile illusion of a magic sword between myself and the dark sorcerer. Your goal is to catch the dark sorcerer by surprise with my sudden illusion and cause the dark sorcerer to fly face first into the blade of the illusion and be cut in half. The sorcerer is not fooled, and he slams into you. Your body feels like it's been through a blender as your soul begins to be drained from your body. As the last of your energy leaves you, you begin to hear the same song you were hearing when you first arrived on this island. Was there a song? I don't remember there being a song. Let's see. You can say, you begin to hear a familiar sound. And also, I'm going to add, the sorcerer's not fooled. He dodges your illusion, and he slams into you. I'm going to say, you fool. My armor helps to replenish my energy. It doesn't matter that you are draining energy from me, as I have plenty to spare. And then I'm going to attempt to knee the sorcerer in the gut, grab him by the hair, and punch him in the face. The sorcerer floats backwards and says, "This isn't over, Paladin. My master is more powerful than you can imagine. He will rule this world." You fight the sorcerer for many hours. Eventually, the sorcerer makes his escape through the portal, leaving you lying on the ground. Okay. I'm going to call out, the sorcerer fled. Was he a part of the initiation? Did I overcome the challenge? The voice of the woman responds, "No, the sorcerer is a liar and a charlatan. He would have destroyed you. You've passed the test that was set before you." You feel the air around you grow warm as the portal begins to glow. Let's see. I'm going to say, to the woman, "Are you Clave of the Order of the All-Powerful Entity?" I am. The portal grows brighter and brighter, and you feel your body begin to grow weary. You hear the voice of a young woman's voice say, the voice of a young woman's voice. So is her voice's voice. Are you ready to be initiated? Let's see. I'm gonna get rid of this, like, railroad line. I'm going to ask Clave, by fighting the sorcerer, did I pass both the challenges of Synthel and Gruul? Yeah, because I had like 2 more challenges. Did their challenges just get replaced by like fight the sorcerer? Clave responds, "You did. You proved yourself to be powerful and wise. Will you join us as a magic knight?" Okay, I mean, yeah, if that's all it took. You nod and bow to Clave. You respond, "Yes, it is important that I become initiated to the order of the all-powerful entity. It is a part of my hero's journey." Clave tells you to reach out and grasp the symbol that is being held out to you. As your hand closes around the golden circle, you feel a flood of knowledge into your mind. As your vision returns, you find yourself transformed. You knew that you would be changed by the other side. Excuse me. You accepted this long ago when you crossed the threshold. You now gaze upon your new form. You can't help but laugh. You are still you, just much more powerful. Your body now emits a golden glow, and your armor is now formed out of thin air. Your sword is transformed into a beautiful yet deadly-looking staff. Let's see. I'm going to check off my soggy but still usable checklist. Atonement with the Father/Abyss. Let's see. The next step is called apotheosis. So what's apotheosis? This is the point of realization in which a greater understanding is achieved. Armed with this new knowledge and perception, the hero is resolved and ready for the more difficult part of the adventure. Fascinating. Okay. This step requires you to gain new knowledge to prepare yourself for the next part of your journey. You quickly realize that you gained new knowledge as soon as you achieved your new transformation. You believe that your transformation actually was the apotheosis. You check apotheosis off of your checklist. Do 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 do. The woman speaks again. You know what you must do, right? To which then I'm gonna get rid of the weird, like, railroad that is said, because I do know what I must do. Next is the ultimate boon. You look at your checklist. The next step is called the ultimate boon. Okay, now let's see what the ultimate boon is. The ultimate boon is the achievement of the goal of the quest. It is what the hero went on the journey to get. All the previous steps serve to prepare and purify the hero for this step, since in many myths the boon is something transcendent, like the elixir of life itself, or a plant that supplies immortality, or the Holy Grail. This step involves getting the item, or I guess getting what you were after all along. You say to the woman, well, you say to Clay, but I don't know why we stopped, like, using names. Next, I need to get the ultimate boon. Which is essentially what I was sent on my quest to retrieve. My ultimate boon is the Stone of Volcar. I was sent from this very beach by a seashell to retrieve the stone. Do you know where I can find the Stone of Volcar? Do 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 do. Let's see. On either side of the great temple's roof, two large stone statues guard the temple. These statues are of a man and a woman, reaching towards the sky with hands outstretched. The female statue is on the right, and the male statue is on the left. You were surprised by the sudden appearance of this temple on the beach. You imagine that the temple was probably always there, but that you simply didn't possess the knowledge or the power needed to see it before. You call out toward the temple. Is this the temple of the stone of Volcar? The woman's voice responds, "You are not worthy to speak the name of the stone of Volcar." Okay, interesting. She continues. Am I about to fight Clave? Only those who are pure of heart and soul may enter the temple of Volcar. A bolt of lightning flashes from the woman's hand and strikes the ground at your feet. I'm going to say to Clave, I have gone through many of the steps of the hero's journey. I have put the needs of others above my own, overcome impossible threats, and become a member of the order of the all-powerful entity. I have even resisted the temptation of sirens, the temptation of a siren. I have proven my purity, and I will do so again, without fear or hesitation. A second bolt of lightning strikes the ground next to you, singeing the edge of your robe. The woman's voice says, "Yo, what if I have to, stone cold, walk into the temple while bolts of lightning are being thrown at me?" Enter the temple and leave behind the impurities of the material world. Clave stares at you with a worried look on his face. It's a woman, her face. It is clear that she would rather stay safely on the ground and let you face the dangers of the temple. I mean, that's such a weird line. Clave is doing this badass thing, and also seems to be a disembodied voice right now, and not just physically here. So I'm gonna get rid of that whole line. Let's see. I calmly walk towards the temple of Volcar Stone. Well, I guess Volcar Temple. Calmly and confidently. You begin walking towards the temple. You are stopped by an invisible force. Tears form in your eyes as you realize that you have reached another dead end. The evil voice of Clave whispers in your head. Evil voice of Clave. Why would Clave suddenly be evil? You fool! Did you really think that you could get away with this? My power is limitless. Your quest is at an end, and now you will pay for your insolence. I'm going to say to Clave. Nice try, Clave. But you're not the only one that can create tactile illusions. This is simply another one of your tests. You smile and attempt to push through the invisible force, not with effort, but by force of will. You truly believe in your heart that you are pure. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. The force is lifted, and you walk past the statues of the man and woman into the temple. As you cross the threshold into the temple, you become filled with a feeling of peace and tranquility. You make your way down a long corridor. You look through the temple for the stone of Volcar. You are standing in the middle of a large brown room. The walls are lined with old wooden shelves that are stuffed with books. Many different colors and styles of robes hang from pegs on the wall. Let's see. I'm going to ask the magic seashell where the stone of Volcar is located inside of the temple. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. The shell appears to be silent. Do you want to ask the shell another question? Excuse me. You decide to let the magic seashell rest and continue searching the temple for the stone of Volcar. I wonder what would be the best way to try and search for the stone of Volcar. You continue your journey down the hallway, but you are stopped by an enormously fat man in a ragged robe. The emaciated face of the man is covered with a dark, scrumpled beard. His eyes look weak, and his skin looks pale and clammy. Okay. I'm going to bow to the man and ask him if he can lead the way to the stone of Volcar. And you should ask him if he can please lead the way to the stone of Volcar. Doo doo doo. Doo 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 doo. Doo 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 doo. At your request, the man turns and waddles down the hall. He stops at a large wooden door with an intricate carving of a snake on the door. He opens the door and waves you inside. You follow after the man, bow politely, and look inside the room. Yeah, is this it? Is this where the stone of Volcar is located? You step into a large room that is empty except for 3 figurines in the center. To your left is a massive man dressed in small metallic rings and chains. His muscles are taut and bulging underneath his skin. The figure on the right is a beautiful woman, slender and delicate. Okay? There are 3 figures. On the left is a man, on the right is a woman, You look at the figure in the center between the man and the woman. Yeah, between like the man figure and the woman figure. The figure is that of a winged creature. His body has the torso and limbs of a man, but the head of a lion. He wears a golden necklace with a jewel hanging in the middle. You look at the jewel hanging from the winged figure's necklace, and you ask the man who led you to the room if that jewel is the stone of Volcar. The jewel of Volcar is a small purple diamond. It has the shape of a regular diamond, but it is purple in color. The fat man takes one look at you and then looks at the winged creature. He exclaims, "Okay, and it sounds like that is indeed the stone of Volcar." It's interesting that he's exclaiming. Is my boy about to yell? Of course that's the jewel. What kind of question is that to ask? You laugh nervously and thank him for his guidance. The fat man laughs too, but his laugh is malicious and mocking. He waves you to the door, and you walk out of the room. Whoa, I'm not leaving yet. Let's see. I'm going to say to the fat man, "Thank you again for leading me here. I will now claim the stone of Volcar and be on my way. Thank you again. You have been very kind. I appreciate you helping me claim my ultimate boon as a part of my hero's journey." The fat man looks confused. Then he looks angry. He yells at you, spittle flying from his mouth and landing on your face. The man's voice is venomous and accusing as he yells. Okay, so what is he gonna yell? You think I helped you so that you could go on your merry way and claim your ultimate boon? Get out of here, worm. Leave this place at once. It says that I start to sweat as the man gets angrier and angrier. The man yells. You interrupt the man and say, "There is no need for you to raise your voice." You walk up to the stone of Volcar and attempt to collect it. As soon as you approach the jewel of Volcar, purple lightning comes from the sky and strikes the winged creature. The winged creature is hit by a blast of lightning, and instead of falling to the ground, he starts to fly around the room. Okay, yeah, as soon as they said he was a winged creature, I kind of thought we would be in an interesting golem situation here. But that's okay. I think I know exactly how to deal with something like this. Okay. I'm going to attempt to manifest a tactile illusion of a pair of flying scissors to cut the Stone of Volcar off of the winged creature's necklace so that I can catch the stone from below. At your request, a pair of silver scissors appear in the air next to you and start to morph into the shape of some large bird before finally settling on their final form as a pair of silver, flight-capable, futuristic scissors. Okay? I'm going to send my illusion scissors, or I guess my futuristic scissors, into the air to cut the Stone of Volcar free of the winged creature's necklace so that I can catch it from below. Your scissors fly gracefully through the air and towards the winged creature. Then they start to slow down and fall downward. The scissors fall to the ground, morphing back into their shape as a pair of regular silver scissors, and land on the ground in front of you. Let's see. You say, my scissors weren't fast enough to catch up. There might be another way to settle this. I'm going to attempt to summon tactile illusion wings on my power armor to allow me to fly after the winged creature. Well, hold on a second. There's a better way to go about this. You politely ask the winged creature to hand me the Stone of Volcar. I don't think this is something where I necessarily need to fight. Yeah, like, this may not, like, this isn't like a test. This is just the part where you get it. The winged creature does not respond. It just continues flying around the room. You try again, shouting this time so that the creature can hear you over the sound of the lightning strikes that are happening every few seconds. Interesting. I didn't know the lightning was so loud. So the game is like, you say it a little louder. You raise your voice and say, please, may I have the Stone of Volcar? I must have it to complete my quest. The winged creature flies close to you and stops. Instead of speaking, the creature just points its finger at you. You bow to the winged creature and politely ask once again for the creature to hand you the Stone of Volcar. You emphasize the fact that you are on a hero's journey and that the Stone of Volcar is your ultimate boon and key to your quest. At your words, the winged creature starts to laugh. The creature continues laughing for a full minute before it finally manages to calm itself down and say something. The creature says, okay, So what's about to go down, fam? Very well, then. Since you have been so kind as to ask so nicely, I will grant your wish. The creature tells you that in order to receive the Stone of Volcar, you have to answer a riddle correctly. Okay. I'm going to nod and listen intently to the creature's riddle. I have been granted with additional knowledge through my apotheosis. So maybe I'll be more than ready to answer this riddle. The creature, who introduces himself as the Sphinx, says, "What has no brains, a face like an arm pot, and flies." He explains that you have three chances to answer this riddle correctly. Chances to answer. Anyways, what has no brains, a face like an arm pot, and flies. This is when you hit up Google and say, what's an arm pot? If I type in arm pot, it says armpit. So I don't know what an arm pot is. I'm going to look at the Sphinx's face to see if it looks like an arm pot. The Sphinx has the head of a human male, the body of a lion, and the wings of a bat. Wait, no. Never mind. I'm fucking up. Because I'm going to make it forget what it already told me. I already know that the Sphinx's face looks like a lion. That's what it said earlier. So I'm not about to act like I don't know what his face looks like. Has a face like an arm pot, no brains, and flies. Okay. I'm going to attempt to use my newfound knowledge granted by my new transformation to answer the Sphinx's riddle. That's how you get the AI to try it for you. Like when you're like, man, fuck me. As you consider the riddle, a face like an arm pot, you think to yourself that this seems to indicate some sort of fruit. You're not sure if it's a common fruit or an obscure one. Damn it. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to create an illusion that matches the description, like the exact description given by the riddle. So it has a face like an arm pot, it has no brain, and it flies. You concentrate for a few minutes, and after a lot of effort, you finally manifest your illusion. It's a brainless creature with the face of an apple, so you're fairly confident that this is the correct answer to the riddle. You point. You better say it's a flying, brainless creature with the face of an apple or whatever. You point at your illusion and say to the Sphinx, "Here is a flying, brainless creature with the face of an arm pot." Oh, crap. Say to the Sphinx. Ooh, fuck. Here we go. Wait, what? Why would it go away? At your words, the illusion you created disappears. I just made it. I just made it. The Sphinx says, that's definitely not the answer. I'm afraid you only get one more guess. And trust me, you don't want to get to the point where you have no more guesses left. The Sphinx tells you that it's time for you to play again. I'm going to say to the Sphinx, I should have two more guesses left. Since the illusion was only my first guess. At your words, the Sphinx starts laughing loudly. The creature says, that's cute, but you're wrong. You've used up all your guesses. Though I will say this, your illusion was a lot better than most. What? You say to the Sphinx, you seem to be counting anything I say as a guess, even if I'm not actually making a guess. I'm glad that you liked my illusion. Also, the answer to your riddle is the answer to your riddle. As the answer to your riddle is the exact description you gave. So I'm about to say something stupid. I'm essentially saying the answer is the answer because the answer matches the description. I'm going to say something like really dumb and obvious. The Sphinx roars with laughter. He says, you are truly a master of illusion, a great one. I can see now that I made a grave mistake in judging your capabilities based on your appearance. Please do forgive me. I'm sorry, did I win? Did I win by saying like the dumbest shit I could have possibly said? I literally just said the answer is the answer. That's like if your math teacher said, what is 2 times infinity divided by the pi triangle? And then you say, the answer. And then your math teacher like, truly, what a god. Yes, the answer is the answer. Please forgive me. I didn't know that you were on this next level plane. Let's see, I'm going to say, since I have solved your riddle, would you please be so kind as to hand me the Stone of Volcar? Yo. That's always the answer to any riddle is the answer to the riddle. The creature cackles as it disappears. This host says I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat now with Admiral Quetzali on the deck of my ship, the Sanguine, sailing for many days, still no sight of land. The fuck? Wait, no, it's not I'm with Admiral Quetzali. You are now him. You have become another nigga and a whole other story. No, I'm sorry, that doesn't add up. Shut up. You're not gonna be like you're just a new character. That's so dumb. At your request, the Sphinx once again points to the large granite urn on the pedestal nearby. At the urn, you grab the Stone of Volcar triumphantly and hold it above your head. Wait, what? Once again, that nigga's never pointed at a large grain, or not large grain, Just say the Sphinx points to a large granite urn on a pedestal nearby. Neither the urn or the pedestal were there before. Both seem to have simply appeared out of nowhere. Let's see. And once I grab the Stone of Volcar from the urn, I'm going to look over at the Sphinx, who now is no longer wearing a necklace. Because you have the Stone of Volcar in your grasp. Okay, so let's continue forward. Is that a real riddle? Nice work, human. You've proven yourself to be worthy of the Stone of Volcar. I admit I was wrong about you. We should definitely hang out sometime. To me, that sounds like something that would happen in like a fake story. Like you're reading it to your friends, and it's like, yeah, and then like the winged sphinx said that I actually was like really fucking cool, and that we should like chill out sometimes on the beach with some bad bitches. He gave me dap. We made up our own friend handshake. He comes over on Sundays. We drink smoothies. He likes the ones with the worms in it. And I'm like, yo, you into that freaky bird shit, my boy? We laugh. Anyways, before you can agree or object, the Sphinx disappears in a cloud of purple smoke. That purple. Let's see, I'm going to cross off my checklist. Ultimate boon. We're in the final stretch, which is actually like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. 6 parts. How long is this? It's already been an hour. It's almost been an hour and a half. Okay. Cool. The next step is called Refusal of Return. This step involves the hero, not wanting to take the ultimate boon back to their world. You wait for a minute and refuse to return to your world. After a minute passes, you decide that you've waited long enough and that it is time to go back to your world. You cross Refusal of Return off your list. In the magic flight, sometimes the hero must escape with the boon if it is something that the gods have been jealously guarding. It can be just as adventurous and dangerous returning from the journey as it was to go on it. Oh, it's like an escape. Let's see, you turn around and see that the pedestal and urn have also disappeared. You check your list and see that the next step is called the magical flight. This step involves you being chased out of the chased out of the other side by jealous gods who want to claim your ultimate boon for themselves. You look around to see if there are any gods chasing after you. Let's see. Okay. Interesting. I'm just trying to see ahead. You don't see any gods, but you do notice that the sky has gone from a brilliant blue to a menacing orange. You also notice that the island you're on seems to now be made of angry lava that you can feel burning your feet through your shoes. Okay, fuck. Okay. You realize that the island itself is trying to take back the stone of Volcar by becoming a sentient mound of living lava. Let's see, I'm going to attempt to summon wings. Like tactile, you attempt to summon tactile illusory wings to allow you to fly away from the island and back through the threshold to your world. Well, I mean, I'm kind of already in my world, I think. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I was on the beach. Like, this was on the beach where I started. So, I'm going to say, I'm back to the forest clearing where I started my journey. Excuse me. You flap your arms and jump up and down, but nothing is happening. You try again, this time determined to believe with all your heart that wings will appear on your back. Your arms get tired, and you fall to your knees in despair. Oh shit, okay, so the game's like, nope, you're not falling out. Let's see, you were surrounded by living lava. For some reason, your illusory abilities aren't letting you summon wings to escape. Yeah, how exactly am I gonna get through this? How am I going to get out of here without the illusions? Okay. You attempt to use the... I'm gonna keep trying to use the illusion thing. Oh, wait, no. I'm gonna do what I haven't done since, like, the beginning of the adventure. I'm going to ask the wind to whisk me away back to the forest clearing where I started my adventure. Because the wind is what helped me get away from the blonde man with the Tommy gun at the beginning of the story. And now the wind can be what takes me back to the forest. The wind does nothing. You are left at the mercy of the living island. After a few minutes, the lava subsides and the island stops moving. It is now a large, soft black rock floating in the void of space. What? You were surprised by two things. You were surprised that the island decided not to kill you. And you were surprised that the island is in outer space. You at first thought that you were back on the beach in your world. But now, you are pretty confident that you are still in the other side. You don't know how you got into space, but you do know that you need to escape back to your world. The living island, now being in space, is likely due to the interference of some jealous god. Trying to get their hands on the stone of Volcar. You notice that there's a small hole at the top of the black rock, a hole just big enough for you to crawl down. You look up and see a long dark tunnel inside the rock, leading who knows where. Okay. So they want me to crawl into a hole in the rock. That didn't really seem like a good idea. I'm going to ask the magic seashell. Well, no. I'm going to try to use my illusion device again to see if it can. No, I should ask the magic seashell. You ask the magic seashell where you should go to get back to your world. Because now I'm just lost. The shell tells you that you need to go down the dark tunnel. You crawl inside the rock. The tunnel is surprisingly wide, and there's plenty of room for you to move about. You do, however, notice that there are also claw marks all over the walls and floor. Okay, I'm going to continue through the tunnel. Let's see. I know that I need to hurry, but that I also need to be cautious. The claw marks may belong to whatever jealous god has been toying with the island. The tunnel eventually leads you to a large opening. It looks like this is some sort of underground cavern, because you can see a night sky full of stars through the hole in the ceiling. Okay. You ask the seashell if through the top of the tavern, not the top of the tavern, through the top of the cavern. Well, I guess I'm going to ask the seashell if the stars you are seeing are actually the stars of your world. Essentially, I want to know if it's like, if I just go straight up, am I now like back in my world? Like, is that the way out? The shell says no, and that you're still very far from your world. You notice a large ebony chest in the corner of the cavern. As you walk towards the chest, you hear several loud roars coming from all directions. Okay, I'm going to say, show yourselves, you jealous gods. I know you are here, and that you are after the stone of Volkar. Well, the stone of Volkar. A loud and monstrous voice comes out from everywhere and nowhere. Oh gosh.
So you have found your way to the center of the island. Well done, little mage. You are indeed worthy to be called a chosen one.
You open the chest. Oh wait, hold up.
Open the chest if you wish to claim your prize and prove that you are the worthy one.
I'm going to say to the voice, I already have claimed my prize. Well, actually, you wonder if the chest contains a way for you to get back home. You ask the magic seashell if the chest is a trap or some form, of mimic. The shell says that it's neither of these things, and that the chest will not harm you. The roaring continues, and it is clear that the voice is coming from a very large creature. You remember that you are in its lair. Okay. You approach the chest and open it. So I'm in the lair of the creature. You see a large metal disc about the size of a wagon wheel. The disc is jet black and has strange glowing symbols etched into the surface. They are the same symbols that you saw on the floor of the temple where you first met Zolorul. You should say on the floor of the temple of Volkar. You ask the monstrous entity, jealous god, are you Volkar? You hear an enormous roar followed by laughter.
Volkar. No, I am not your god, little mage. Volkar is a creature of the sea, and as such he is not worthy to consort with true power.
The voice continues. The voice continues to laugh heartily for quite some time. You fear that the speaker is getting ready to attack you. You look around the room and see that there's a second disc beside the first one. I'm going to attempt to use my transformations, enhance knowledge, to try and decipher the symbols on the 2 discs. You wonder if the symbols could be used to make a portal back to your world. The first disc is emblazoned with the symbols for water and wind. The second disc has symbols for lightning and flames. Looking at both discs, you think that the first disc might open up a portal to the watery realms of the mermaids. Okay. And then I guess the other disc would be to the land of lightning and fire. You remember that the mermaids were friendly. It could probably help you get back home. The second symbols on the second disc make you think of the Dragon Lords. You know that they are capable of creating portals with their flaming breath. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm going to attempt to use the Dragon Lord disc to travel to the Dragon Lord realm. Yeah, I know that the mermaids are friendly or whatever, but if the Dragon Lords can make portals that can like take you places, the disc does not work. You wonder if you need the other disc to make the portal work. So you quickly place it on the stand by its lonely companion. The portal opens with a flash of light, and a strong wind begins to blow. Okay, I'm going to leap into the portal. Gosh, getting back home is a lot harder than I thought it would be. I can't even like just retrace my steps backwards either, because so much has changed. Excuse me. You find yourself falling through a tunnel of swirling colored lights. Inside the tunnel, there is an enormous wind that threatens to blow you off course. What should you do? The swirling tunnel of colorful light gives way to a view of mountains and forest on an alien planet. Okay. I'm going to call out Dragon Lords. I require your assistance. You should probably say, Dragon Lords, please. I require your assistance. I am on a hero's journey, and I am currently on my magical flight back to my homeworld. I require a portal back to the mortal realm so that I may begin to conclude my quest. Please help me. You hear what sounds like a long, low, and reverberating roar. The roar is so loud that you feel the shock wave from the noise blast. You see an opening in the terrain and decide to land there. Okay? You check to see if the opening in the terrain. Well, no. I'm going to call out to the Dragon Lords once again with my plea. Come on, Dragon Lords. I need your help. You see 6 dragons in the clearing where you have landed. 5 of the creatures are blue and green, and smaller than the average dragon. These smaller dragons are arrayed in a half circle around the largest creature. The largest creature is golden and sits upright like a horse. Okay? I'm going to bow to the Dragon Lords. and once again ask for their help in returning home to the mortal realm to complete my hero's journey. Yeah, like I just need to pass through the threshold once again. The lead dragon lord roars in laughter and races towards you. The smaller dragons surround you and raise their shields, preparing for a fight. Okay. I'm going to say, I mean the dragon lords no harm. I simply request that you use your flame portal breath to send me back to the mortal realm. Yeah. So I'm not going to get up in arms just because everyone raises their shields or whatever. I'm not here to fight. The large dragon lord stops just out of Claw's reach from you and bellows out a command in his alien tongue. Oh. The 5 smaller dragons each touch their forked tongues to the large dragon lord's raggedy-edged wound. What? So he stops just out of Claw's reach from me, and then all the smaller dragons put their forked tongues in the large dragon's wound? The large dragon winces as the wound closes up. The dragon lord looks at you, ponders your request, and then roars in agreement. You see a flash of light from the dragon's maw, and then feel yourself being pulled by some unseen force. Yes, let me cross over the thresholds. Yes, Joe. Let me cross into the threshold. Thresh. You black out. You awaken on a soft patch of grass. Your eyes adjust to the darkness, and you notice that night has fallen. You are outside of the... No, what do you mean? I'm outside of the dragon lord. I was almost just home. The grass, I thought I was in the forest clearing. Get off this dick. Outside the dragon lord castle. The fuck? Okay. So you realize that the dragon lord didn't send you back to the mortal realm. He just sent you to his castle. You try to use the, let's see. You remember that you got here using symbols that were indicative of the elements of this world. So you decide to try and create symbols representative of the mortal realm in order to create a portal to return home. Okay. Come on. You draw a large square in the dirt with your sword. Inside the square, you draw 2 intersecting circles, one inside the other. You place your hands on the circle and concentrate with all your might on the mortal realm. Why is that the symbol? The fuck does a square and 2... How the fuck are they intersecting but inside of one another? I guess like a Venn diagram, head ass? If this portal doesn't work, you don't know what you'll do. I sure don't know what I'll do. Damn right. Give me home. A portal opens up and you feel a rush of wind blow past you. You step backwards to avoid falling into the portal. You look down and see a strange landscape on the other side of the portal. You've made it back to the mortal realm. Yes, okay. Ballin'. Okay, I'm going to return to the forest clearing in the mortal realm where you started your adventure. Okay. Those symbols that you had me make, those were some bullshit symbols, but I'm glad it worked. I don't even know what that's supposed to represent. What is the box all of reality? Is one circle the other side and one circle my world? You arrive back in the forest clearing and greet your friends. Nigga, I don't have friends. I have no memories. And you are greeted by a group of strangers. The strangers reveal that they are your friends and that they were worried sick when you disappeared. After explaining your experience, the rest of your friends return through the portal. The group is amazed by your tales of adventure and thrilled to hear that you've succeeded in your quest. What? After explaining your experience, how about this? Your friends traveled through the portal to go on a quest of their own. You've taught them everything you know about the other side, sirens, gods, dragon lords, and portals. Okay. Awesome. Because that's another part of the hero's journey, by the way. When you return to the threshold, the returning hero is to complete his adventure, but you must have like an impact on the world. So the trick is returning while retaining the wisdom you gained on your quest, and then integrating that wisdom into your human life, and maybe figuring out how to share the wisdom with the rest of the world, which is what I just did. I just gave them the knowledge or whatever, and now they're using the knowledge and they're going to go on their own quest or whatever. So cool. That I don't think I could have done a better thing. Okay, so next up is Master of Two Worlds and Freedom to Live. So the first thing that I need to do is cross off my checklist. What is it? What was this one called? The Crossing of the Return Threshold. Well, actually, no. I just finished the Magic Flight or whatever. So it's like the next item on your checklist is Crossing the Return Threshold. You already have returned to the mortal realm and shared your wisdom from your journey. So you cross that item off your list. Okay, so the next item on your checklist is the Master of Two Worlds. Excuse me. Also, real quick, was I supposed to give the Stone of Volcor to anyone? Like when I was sent to get it, was it just to get it? Or was it to get it and then give it to like the seashell that asked me to get it? The seashell. Yeah, I gotta go give this to the seashell. I haven't done that yet. Okay, the Master of Two Worlds. For a human hero, it may mean achieving a balance between the material and spiritual. The person has to become comfortable and competent in both their inner and outer worlds. Okay. This step is about feeling confident in your ability to live in both the mortal realm and the other side. You feel at home in the mortal realm now that you've been reunited with your friends. And you now possess incredible power that you can wield on the other side. You cross the master of two worlds off your list.
Okay.
So the last one is freedom to live. In this step, mastery leads to freedom from fear of death, which in turn is the freedom to live. This is sometimes referred to as living in the moment, neither anticipating the future nor regretting the past. Whoa, what the fuck? The game was like, yo, nigga, I remember the checklist, and it filled in. The next step on your checklist is called freedom to live. It involves facing the future free of any obligation. You know that in order to live free of any obligation, that you must complete your quest. You use a tactile illusion to fly back to the beach in the mortal realm where you were given the call and leave the stone of Volcar on the shore. You then fly off into the sky, smiling as you venture into the unknown. You can always come back to this place if you ever need to, you think to yourself, as the wind blows through your hair. You think, there is one more thing that I need to do. You return to the forest clearing, and you look for the blonde man that attacked you at the beginning of your journey. Yeah, like the blonde man with the Tommy gun. You spot the Tommy gun toting blonde man in the clearing. You approach him from behind and use your ability to turn back time so you can undo the damage you caused when you create your portal. No. The game is like, oh, you're a god and you just do time. No, I never got time manipulation. You search for hours, but you cannot find him anywhere. Maybe you moved on to another plane of existence, you think, as you prepare to return home. Maybe that was the last quest I needed to complete in order to be free. Moved on to another plane of existence is so weird. Let's see. You say, maybe I was never destined to fight him after returning from the other side. Maybe I was destined to forgive him so that I may move on. You nod and sit down in the forest clearing. Just as the forest is cleared, you clear your mind and embrace your wisdom. You smile as you no longer fear the unknown, but instead embrace it. Okay. That actually is kind of interesting. Like, I like the idea of me coming back thinking that I was going to, like, fight the dude who bullied me at the beginning, only to be like, you know what, like, he didn't matter. That wasn't really the point, right? If anything, I just need to, like, forgive the dude so that I can move on with my life and I can do what I need to do. Freedom is yours, and the future is an open road. So there you have it. That's the other side. That's like the complete story. I did the full hero's journey, all 17 parts. And I'll be honest, it was interesting, for sure. There's plenty of stuff that doesn't make any sense, like at all. Um, like I don't know what was up with the blonde man. We never really got to learn like what the blonde man with the Tommy gun was doing. I'm bulletproof for some reason. That was the thing that got established early on. We never learned why my character was bulletproof. I just happened to be bulletproof. Later on, when I was on the other side, they called me a chosen one. Maybe that's why I didn't just eat shit and die when I got shot with the bullets. Who knows? But I mean, he shoots me in the face at one point, and I don't die from that. So that's pretty crazy. Um, but we never learned what was up with the Tommy gun dude. I asked the wind to whisk me away to escape from the blonde man, and it does, and it takes me to like the beach. But it's never explained like why the wind, like in the normal world, does that, like in the mortal realm. You know, like isn't that weird? Like that's not like an other side thing. I mean, you could argue that anything that's unexplained could be some aspect of the other side, or like a part of the chosen one thing. Because as soon as you introduce the concept that the main character was the chosen one, it could be like the wind whisked you away because that was destiny, and like the island that it took you to clearly had some kind of magical connection to the other side, and it was pretty close to the threshold. So maybe there were like magical properties involved with the fact that it was close to the threshold or whatever, blah blah blah. So I mean, I feel like any of those like unexplained things you could probably argue are explained by the fact that you're the chosen one and the beach is by the threshold. And that's it. That's like all you need to know, kind of thing. Um, but yeah, I think that was like a pretty wild ride. I honestly don't know how to feel about it, to be honest. One of my complaints about the hero's journey that I've made a lot is that it's a thing where just a lot of stuff happens. I'm kind of a fan of Booker's seven basic plots, which argues that like the hero's journey doesn't really apply to like all stories, and that there are these seven basic plots that are more fitting because you can actually like say, oh, this one is definitely this of the seven basic plots, and this one is definitely of this one. It gives you more choices rather than trying to say that all stories fit within the same mold. But this was definitely like a fun ride. I don't know how good of a story this is, to be honest. Like I don't know how other people will feel about it, or about like the world that was formed. But definitely let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below and on our Discord. If you guys want to help support the channel, feel free to donate to our Cash App, link in the description box below. If you guys want to chat, feel free to hit me up on our Discord link in the description. And if you guys like AI Dungeon 2 videos, make sure you subscribe because I do AI Dungeon 2 videos every day. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out. Peace, guys. Check it about.